Hi, I'm Jason. I'm back. I'm a writer, teacher, entrepreneur, musician, martial arts enthusiast, and outdoors enthusiast. I'm also into prepping and survivalism. Last time, we talked about the EDC, the bag out bag and the bag in, bag out dichotomy. We said that as for the EDC, you will need a pouch, and the contents of which would depend upon your what? Upon your preference, depending upon your lifestyle and upon the usual contingencies in your daily life. And the bag out bag is a bag that contains all of your essentials that you can just grab in case of an emergency or of scenario that requires bagging out or going home. So it could also be a go home bag or a bag out bag. And we said that in bag out scenario, uh, we have to consider the what? The advantages and disadvantages of it. And as a matter of consensus, we must know that what? That the in and out approach is something we could adapt. It is knowing or being privy to the gridlock or to the geometry of the city, while also being what? Being knowledgeable about living off grid or outdoors. Now the question now is, when you have an EDC full pouch, um, it usually has a what? It usually has a multi-tool. Now, what are the various profiles of the multi-tool? What are the various multi-tool profiles? We're gonna be talking about it in this episode, and I'll also share some of my multi-tools here, some samples of what I have here. Multi-tools are known to be a modern device or modern invention. However, it actually goes way back. There's evidence that there was a Roman soldier who was carrying a what? Was carrying a multi-tool, and it happened to be an eating tool. So our first what? Our first multi-tool type is the eating tool. Let me show you what we have here. Um, this one, CRKT, a very popular eating tool. Yeah, here. Why is an eating tool very important? It's important because eating is an activity that we cannot avoid. We have to eat every day. So the EDC pouch must have an eating tool right there. Another, perhaps another example would be this one. This is also an eating tool, and by detaching it, you can actually have what? Spoon and fork. Spoon and fork. And also, a knife. Not so sharp, but good enough for cutting through butter, I guess. Now let's proceed. Um, you are probably familiar with this one, the Victorinox Swiss knife type of multi-tool. Very popular. A common pasalubong from people coming from Europe, right? Or coming from Switzerland, Austria. Speaking of this particular specimen here, um, was given to us, was given to my father-in-law by Dean Charles Holland, a backpacker who went to Mount Isarog during the 90s. So, Sir Dean Charles Holland, um, if you are watching this, we still have your item. Thank you. I have newer, version of the Victorinox Pino. This one I actually use. Let's look at what's inside. Some items are difficult to pry open, but let's try. This is a smaller knife, and we have this bigger knife. It actually has can opener. Yeah, here's a can opener. This can also double as can opener. Phillips, and we have. Yeah, I can show you the parts. This one also. You're familiar with this anyway. We can also look at this one, a smaller version of it. You see? It also has a pair of scissors. Yeah, there's actually more. And also a Swiss knife type of thing. This one is an antique actually. Camp King, very popular during the 50s. This came out during the 50s, and this was an item for Boy Scouts. It has a knife. It also has a knife here. Important item. It's old and it's antique, vintage. You can never discount the cheaper ones. This one is a cheaper version of the Victorinox or Swiss knife type of multi-tool. So long as it works, then good. Another type is the so-called plier type. Very popular or very common among Leatherman items. This one is Leatherman Wingman. It's a Leatherman Wingman, a known brand. You can actually access the scissor from the outside. And also the knife, you can access it easily. The blade, it's serrated. As I said, a serrated blade is also very important. And cutting through thick rope, etc. Of course, many of you may have other models of the Leatherman. And I also have a cheaper version of the plier type multi-tool. This one by Creston. I usually buy multi-tools and the cheap ones, and I sometimes give them as a gift. This one is a really nice blade as well. Yeah, there. Another, yeah. Let me show you the tiniest plier type multi-tool that I have. Eagle brand. I've had this for a long time. Still works. Okay, another type of multi-tool would be the hammer type. According to a popular adage, if it has no hammer, then it ain't a tool. So, anyway, this one is a cheaper version of the hammer type multi-tool. Very important when you're camping, when you're going to build your shelter or your camp or your tent. There. Those are some of the multi-tool types or profiles. Now, how about folders? How about folders? Last time we mentioned that when you go to the wilderness or you go you go hiking, you go outdoors, it might be wise to bring with you a pocket knife. Now the question now is, what are the types of machine-made folders? Now I can only show you what I have here. And another question is, do we have folders in our blade culture? Do we have folders in our blade culture? As mentioned earlier, a good pocket knife must have a what? Must have a glass breaker, seatbelt cutter, and some sort of a serration. This is a Smith & Wesson Border Guard 10S. I got this from Mark Carinan, good friend of mine, and an online seller. He used to be an online seller of tactical items. Now this is the straight blade type, and then we also have another sample here. This one by what's this one? Strider. There. Nice one. Another type of a folder, machine-made folder, is the karambit type. Like this one. Fox karambit. So, here. For FMA. Really good thing for FMA. And then, this one also, a karambit type of folder. But this one is bordering on the Balisong already. Mantis by Mantis. And fold it. I also flip it, but I have not been flipping this for a long time. So this one. Folders. There. Very important. As we said, do we have folders in our blade culture, particularly here in the Philippines? So, do we have a culture on creating folders? The ready answer would be, of course, ala A, Balisong. Okay, the Balisong. Now, the Balisong is reputed to be from Batangas. However, there's also a theory that it's actually from Europe, particularly from France. And there were samples of the Balisong, vintage ones, or antique ones, with blades made in Germany. But the theory is of some other enthusiasts or blade scholars is that Jose Rizal and company, Antonio Luna, must have brought the Balisong in France or in Spain or in Europe when they were there. That's why the blade, the profile, also became what? Popular in that area. And it's actually what? It is actually still a Philippine-made blade. And actually, the Balisong is actually a sailor's blade. It is actually a sailor's blade. But sadly, because of some bad PR, the Balisong is being seen as the blade of the tough guy or the toughie or the siga or of the criminal. And I think we as blade enthusiasts must change that image, because the Balisong industry is now under threat. There used to be so many makers, but now we only have a few makers of the Balisong in Batangas particularly. Alright, What are the balisongs that we have here? This one is vintage balisong. 29. Double blade. This came from the editor-in-chief of the Philippines Graphic, Joel Pablo Salud. This is a 1910 balisong. So thank you, Chief Joel. This one, a brass one. This one. We also have this one with this particular eagle design. Yeah. Nice, huh? This one is really sharp. What more? This one with deer horn antler. Labaha type. Very good. Very common. And still another labaha type. What else? Smallest one. This came from Almanonas, Scorpio. Very nice to flip. And of course the machine-made balisong. Really cheap one. There. The ready answer is the balisong. If we ask, do we have what? Do we have folders in our blade culture? Yes, we have the balisong, of course. Now, suppose you are in the wilderness. Would multi-tools and folders suffice in a bug-out scenario? Now, that will be our topic next time. We'll be talking about bolos, full-length blades. Particularly Bicol blades, Bicol made blades from the Minasbad Shop. Okay, thank you for watching and be safe. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Thank you.